Mike, and people will probably go, I'm boring him, the same sort of thing. But it's so obvious that Stephen Bunting has got to get into his stride very early. And that helps.
He played very well in his quarter-final, seeing off Vincent van der Voort 6-1 with an 100.7 average.
Stephen to throw first. Game on.
And Taylor, meanwhile, he whitewashed Michael Smith 6-0. And Michael Smith, well, never really allowed to get going at all. 109.9 Taylor average in that quarter-final. And looking ominous this weekend for any opponent that he faces.
100.
This is the 90th Pro Tour semi-final Phil Taylor has appeared in. Thanks to Andy Scott from the Professional Dart Players Association for that little stat. He sends out some useful little tidbits on Twitter, does Andy?
Well, 2 straight tons from Taylor. Puts him 66 in front, and now Steve's going to need a 140 or a 180 just to get the throw back. Ton is not really going to be enough. 95 certainly isn't. It kind of leaves the door open for Taylor already to stamp his authority in the leg that he threw second, and that's a perfect dart for Taylor. He's going to be livid he doesn't put another dart in there.
99.
Well, he won't be happy with that.
As well as his win over Vincent van der Voort, Stephen Bunting has seen off Brendan Dolan, the number 3 seed.
92.
And Justin Pipe, the number 14 seed. That was after a first round drubbing of Ross Smith 6-1. So he's looked good all weekend, making his European Tour debut as Stephen Bunting. But here comes Taylor. Oh, with a fantastic 170 to leave himself double 16 when he comes back. Great darts in the opening leg of this semi-final here.
59. Will you require 32?
So for an early break of throw, Taylor wants double 16 and
16.
Just going the wrong side of the wire with the third dart.
Yes, and it's a chance for Stephen Bunting. It is to hold his throw, but it's a chance he's got to take. Needs to move to the right a little bit. Now he's staying where he is. That's in the treble 20. He wants double top, and he's hit it. 3 clear darts. Taylor has missed to break the throw in this first leg. Bunting's taken out the 120. Now, has that put Phil Taylor just a little bit on the back foot?
$96.
Should have given Bunting a good bit of confidence, that.
96.
It's always nice to nick a leg of darts. Although it's on his throw, he still nicked it. And that just gives you a little bit, well, perhaps it's my day.
100.
Taylor's reached this semi-final with a 6-0 whitewashing of Magnus Carris. Victory over Dave Chisnell. 104.7 his average in that game. And then that 6-0 win, as I mentioned, in the quarterfinals over Michael Smith. 109.9 Taylor averaging there. So his average has improved as the weekend has gone on. And there he goes.
190.
With his first maximum of this semi-final.
Well, against Michael Smith, Taylor made it nearly impossible for Michael to break the throw. I think something like 3 12 darters, 2 13s, and 11, I believe, something like that on his throw, which is incredible darts. And we're here again, looking at the 13 dart like he was in the first leg. So Bunting will be thinking, well, he missed in the first leg, perhaps he'll miss in the second as well.
54. Will you require 20?
Just a slight glance over on Bunting's score there from Taylor as he missed that. There's 6 darts already missed from Taylor.
100. Who you require 10.
And that's not a good dart. Got to come to the right. Finally, Phil Taylor hits a double. And a big sigh of relief from the power.
Game on.
So the first two darts going with the throw.
99.
And if that was to continue, of course, Bunting would have the throw if we were to go to an 11th and deciding leg.
The second 180 of the match goes to Phil Taylor. And it's at the start of the leg. Bunting needs to reply with a big one himself.
134.
That's great darts from Bunting. Just keeps him in front. Oh, and look how well that is sitting in the treble. He'll be angry missing that.
137.
And the groans from the crowd. A little smile from Phil as he walked back towards them.
78. Check 92.
Well, 6 darts from here Taylor's got to break the throw of Bunting. Had chances in the first leg and didn't. He's going to have to switch because that dart is covering the treble 20. Another one of those for 134 will help. 96. Well, that gives him an outside chance. And now Bunting, he has to hit a big score. He knows that Taylor may only get a dart at the bullseye. I can't believe he's having to check that. I don't know why he didn't stay on that treble 20. I really don't.
So for a break of throw, double 14 for Taylor. And we're not seeing the accuracy on the doubles that we've seen
90.
so far this weekend from Phil Taylor. He's got to go for the bullseye, and he gets it.
Unbelievable. Sorry, Mike.
For a 2-1
Unbelievable
lead.
from Steve Bunting, the checkouts.
For Blackfield,
And Taylor,
Game
he's scoring exceptionally well, but the doubles are miles away, aren't they?
And there you can see the averages.
60.
But hasn't quite yet got his sights tuned into the doubles on the stage here at the Maritime Hotel in Berlin in the way that he had done in the earlier rounds of the competition.
Well, we don't see stats like that very often. 10% on the doubles from Phil Taylor. No problem with the treble. It's just on the outside of the board, and you know the stats. If you looked at those stats and you didn't know the score, and you knew there was 3 legs being played, you'd have said he was 3-0 up.
Definitely. And here he goes again, filling it up.
140.
And Stephen Bunting switching to the PDC after winning that Lakeside Championship. And he said he wants to play with the big boys. He wants to play the likes of Phil Taylor week in, week out. But Taylor here with a 1-2-1 check out.